Yes, my name is Campbell, and I'm here today with my co-authors, Robb Benne and Robb Metcalf, and we're going to talk about Beyond, the new international secondary course from Macmillan. And here it is. It's a 6-level course, taking students from A1 plus up to B2. And the story of Beyond actually starts here in Harrogate, IATEFL, 4 years ago. And so it feels really good to be here 4 years later and to be presenting it for the very first time today. When we started the project, our first challenge was to create something that could be slightly new and different for secondary. And to do that, we came up with 3 main objectives. The 3 of us feel passionately that the best way to motivate students is to use material that we'll know that they'll find interesting. Back in the 1990s, I started a magazine in Spain for teachers who were looking for topical and motivating activities to use with their teenagers that they just couldn't find in course books at that time. And that's when I met Rob. And then when we started writing material for other publishers, we met Rebecca, who's got a background in secondary teaching and has written several course books. And we thought that, as a team, that we could come up with something with a course that hopefully would appeal to both teachers and learners. As part of our research, we went and visited schools in different countries, and we immediately realized that our course was going to have to work in so many different situations. From a classroom where there's a teacher with just a book, a board and a pen, to another class that we saw in Mexico, where it seemed that every student was using a different mobile device. Laptops, mobile phones, smartphones, games consoles, an interactive whiteboard, and there were print materials there as well. And it also had to be a course that could have different entry levels, so it could be used in different countries. And then there was a third objective, which was to try and find something that would take things a bit further so that we could do something we hadn't done before. And that's when, with the help of Macmillan, we focused on 3 specific areas. First of which is life skills, which Rebecca will be talking about. And when we visited schools, we saw life skills being used very successfully, and we wanted to make it a key feature of the course. We also needed to develop a sub-skills syllabus so that we could help students learn how to read, how to listen, and make writing and speaking more meaningful. And finally, the 3 of us have worked a lot with video, and we wanted to see if we could find ways to use video in the course that would just be slightly fresh and new. So let's start with the learner. How can we make material that will engage them and encourage them to learn? Well, first of all, you have to choose the right topics, and secondly, present them in a visually exciting way. And that's why with Beyond, each unit starts with a lesson that's called In the Picture. And the idea is to use very visual images to get the students' attention and to introduce the unit topic. And here are a couple of examples. This is from A2 plus, teaching parts of the body. This is an avatar that you might have seen. There's an amazing poster at the Macmillan stand, which if you haven't got one already, I think you should try and get your hands on one, and we'll meet the avatar again in a minute. This is from the same level. We're trying to find how can we do something visually that's different with the rather dry topic of jobs. And here's a spread from B1, looking at the 5 senses, which we'll look at in a bit more detail. So each of these spreads starts with a section called Recall. And this is really to activate the student's prior knowledge. we think it's really important that students use the language they already know and also bring their knowledge and experience to the class. We think it shows respect for the student and it also boosts their confidence. Then the new vocabulary is presented referring to the images and it's practiced in context. There's a regular pronunciation section. For the pronunciation, we focus on English being used as a lingua franca for people communicating who don't share the same first language, which is the situation most students will be in. And we end with a speaking section where students can use the new vocabulary and personalize it. And I don't know if you can see, but down here it says "Go Beyond," and that sends students to the back of the book, where the new vocabulary is presented in lexical sets, and there are vocabulary tips and tasks, which could be used by fast finishers or by teachers who want to spend more time working on vocabulary. And then finally here, there's a section called the moving picture. And we wanted to include this on the spread to try and bring the printed page to life. And so we've used lots of different styles of video, so students never know what to expect. We've used documentaries, vox pop, slideshows, YouTube-style videos, and animations. And they're quite small, short videos, because the idea is that the teacher can either use it as just another stage of the lesson, or they can exploit it more fully. Or if they don't want to use it or can't use it, then students can watch it at home or on the way home. So before handing over to Rob, I want to show you some extracts from the moving picture videos so you can get a taste of the different types of video that we've included.
Are you a foodie? Do you love food? Join us at Passport NYC, the summer camp for teenage foodies. Spend the summer in New York City and learn to cook with some of the city's top chefs. At Passport NYC, teens from all over the world come to New York City to live, have fun, and learn about cooking with professionals.
I'm Tyler, wearing a paddy jacket, really nice. Like the style of it, keeps me warm during the winter. Wearing a white and blue striped t-shirt and light wash jeans. These are my favourite because I'm not really a dark sort of guy. Skinny and then blue canvas shoes.
This is Rico. He's an old friend. We met at primary school when we were just 6 years old. He's cool. This is my aunt Anna. She's married to my mum's brother. She's really nice. She buys me nice presents too. I really like her.
Emmy and I saw Avalanche on TV last month when there was nothing else on. It was absolutely hilarious. I hadn't laughed so much for ages. The special effects were terrible.
Hello, this is Jenny and I'm Rachel. We're editors and we work on Beyond. Today we've come to the design studio to meet some other people who are working hard to make Beyond look so great. Should we go and have a look and see what they're doing?
Okay, we're going to look at skills lessons in Beyond and our approach to teaching grammar. And after the impact of the opening spread, each subsequent page in the book is a self-contained lesson with a clear aim, clearly labelled sections. We wanted it to be as easy to teach and learn from as possible. And as Robert said at the end, the opening, motivating material being the key in any course book, but maybe especially at teenage level where engaging them is so important. So to give an example here, we've got a lesson, it's about football, but it's through an organisation in Kenya that uses football to help young people with problems. But we wanted also, apart from just having motivated material, we wanted to have as wide a range of different text types as possible. And we wanted to teach students to make sure they learn how to read and listen to a whole range of different text types. And for this reason, we developed a comprehensive sub-skills syllabus. And in fact, I mean, what we've set up to now in a certain sense is groundbreaking. I think we have moved forward in the sense of we've assigned every reading and listening lesson a sub-skill. Everyone has a sub-skill. And let me just home in on that, because you might not be able to see over top of people's heads in front of you. But here's the reading text again. On the bottom right there, we call it our how-to box. And it has a series of tips which takes them through the sub-skill. Students use the sub-skill, and when they've done that, they come back, and you see there are tick boxes next to the tips. They tick the ones that they found helpful. And the idea that this consolidates the tips and gets them to reflect on the process of using it. We think it's important to have a sub-skill on every page. It sounded maybe a bit excessive when we explored the idea, but the advantage is that students move away from, we do it as well, the core sub-skills like skimming, scanning, dealing with new vocabulary and context. We do other things as well. We've got program references here. We look at the attitude of the speaker and writer, the purpose of the text. At higher levels, we look into things like humour, the use of irony, coming across idioms and similes in context. And every reading lesson and listening lesson ends with a react section. And this is because we wanted students to say what they think or feel about what they've just read or listened to. It's a step in a lesson which can be overlooked, but it's really important in terms of maintaining motivation and interest in the material. We also think that if you have a sub-skill for every text, then you think very carefully about what type of task the student should be doing to get the information they need from it. Which makes, we think it makes it more coherent, and it gives them a variety of different ways of looking at text. So students come away with a set of transferable skills they can use on the same text type again in class, out of class, perhaps in their own language. After each of the receptive skills lesson, there's a grammar lesson. The grammar's has all come up in the text they've worked with, whether they've realised it or not. They've understood it, they've used it, they've come across it, but it's represented here at the top as a new context. And this context establishes a theme for the lesson, and all the exercises are set into that theme. The context includes the language. Students look at the context for its meaning, and then we guide them towards noticing how the language is used to work out rules for themselves. And as I said, all the exercises are a self-contained context within the theme, and there's always a communicative task at the end. The listening page comes after that, the listening lesson. This one's based on a teenager called Paige. She actually is a real teenager that we contacted via the internet. We saw some of her art, but we were looking for art, and we found her page. She's an artist, she designed an app, she started her own company, and we interviewed her for this feature. And the second vocabulary set is on the listening page. At higher levels it comes after the listening, and much of the vocabulary is being contextualised. At lower levels we present vocabulary first sometimes. And the speaking page, where students learn to do things like ordering food, telling people that they can't understand them, asking them that they're having problems understanding, things like that. And you see on the right the three photos there. This is one of the things we're most excited about in the course, which is our drama group. We decided really early on that it's not enough to just have people listening to functional or transactional language. We wanted to see people acting it out. We wanted to see how body language helps to get meaning across. So we got together a group of kids of the student's age for each level. And they filmed themselves acting out our dialogues in a rehearsal space in the theatre with minimal props. The idea is that their model shows what students can do in class. And you'll see, if you're going to watch some examples now, you see some of them act better than others. They're not professional actors, many of them want to be, but the fact that they're not all perfect sort of reinforces this idea that students can use them as a model. So before I hand over to Rebecca, let's have a look at some of those videos, hopefully.
Hello?
Hi, it's Matt. Can I speak to Keith?
Hi Matt, Keith isn't here at the moment.
Can I leave a message?
Yes, hang on, let me get a pen. Good morning.
Hello, I'd like to join the library. How do you become a member?
You need to fill in a membership form.
Okay, and how old do you have to be?
You can join at any age, but you need to give the name of a parent or guardian if you're under 18.
Okay. And how much does it cost to join?
It's free if you live or study locally.
Hi Max, you look good today. What a great t-shirt.
Thanks. I got it on Reddit. I chose it because it's organic content.
Your hair looks nice as well. Have you had it cut?
Yes, I have. Glad you like it. You look great too.
Sorry I'm late, I had to go to the doctor. That's okay, sit down.
Sorry I'm late. I missed the bus. I think the bus driver came early.
That's not good enough. You should get up earlier. Hello, I'd like to check in for the flight to Rome.
Can I have your passport, please?
Yes, there you are.
How many bags are you checking in?
One suitcase.
Do you have any hand luggage?
I have a backpack.
Okay, that's fine. Do you have any sharp objects in there?
Sorry, I don't understand. Could you repeat that, please?
Do you have any sharp objects in your hand luggage? Scissors, knives, anything like that?
Yes, I have some scissors.
I'm sorry, you'll have to put those in the suitcase.
Max, would you like to come to my birthday party?
Yes, I'd love to. When is it?
It's next Saturday.
I'm sorry, but I can't. I'm going to a barbecue in Wilson Park.
A barbecue at Wilson Park?
Yeah, Alice is going, and she invited me.
Max, that's my party.
Really? Well, I guess I'll see you there.
No, that's not right. It should be our ball. Bad luck. That was close. Don't get annoyed, or you'll get a yellow card.
This is just the best day ever.
You did a great job. I hate to say it, but you were better than me today.
Oh no, I really wants to win this one. Well, congratulations. Thanks. Better luck next time.
At different levels. So as we go up the levels, the students match then the age of the students in class. So you saw in that last video, you saw students commiserating with each other, congratulating each other. And this brings us to the whole area of life skills, social skills, interpersonal skills. And you may say, well, you know, I'm a language teacher. Why should I be teaching life skills? Well, I think, you know, as secondary teachers, we're not just language teachers, we're educators. And, you know, we're already teaching a whole host of life skills. Life skills are nothing new, but we think they're so important that we've decided to have a dedicated page on life skills in Beyond. So what exactly are these life skills that we're aiming to train? Well, if you look at the Beyond Life Skills tree here, you'll see we've divided them into 5 categories. So we've got Get Thinking, that's where we focus on critical thinking skills, Respect Others, there we're looking at social skills, cultural awareness, Communicate and Cooperate, that's where we're training things like teamwork, getting your message across, doing a good presentation. Get Organised, organisational planning skills. This is where we have traditional study skills as well. And Know Yourself, where we look at self-awareness, self-confidence. Students look at their own values, all these things that are so important for teenagers. And how did we choose the skills themselves? Well, we looked at not only the students' language development as we move up the levels, but also their maturity. So we looked at having practical, concrete tasks in the lower levels, such as in A1+, we have something where students note down homework in a homework diary. And as we move up the levels, the tasks get more complex and more abstract. So in B2, we're looking at things like how to learn from your mistakes and how to take risks. So we looked at students' level of language, we looked at their maturity, but we also looked at transferability of skills. So we wanted these skills to not only be useful to students in the classroom, but also outside the classroom, when they go to college, when they go to work. We wanted them to be transferable to different situations and different contexts. So if we look at an example of one of the pages, this is from A2+. It's a unit about food, and this page looks at thinking about the sort of food that maybe some people can't eat. So maybe there are students in the class that are allergic to certain foods, or they can't eat them for religious reasons. So we start with an aim, as on all the Beyond Skills pages. This one's consider other people's needs and preferences. And we also have a first input phase. We wanted these pages to be very easy to teach, so we have a very clear task-based structure. And what we do is take a real-life context and we use real-life tasks. And we're not introducing any new language here. We're expecting students to use all the language that they have at their disposal. So here we've got a group of British students who are on an exchange visit. And we introduce them via a mini case study stating what sort of problems they have with food. And in other units we have a video where students listen to a dialogue, we have a questionnaire, but there's always some sort of input to get students started. Once they've done the input phase, the students do a practical task. And as I said, this is always a real-life task. So here students are organising a party for the exchange students, and they're looking at providing food that the students can eat, and they're also looking at what the other students in their own class maybe can't eat. Once students have done the practical task, they come to the reflect stage, and here we want them to think about what they've just done, and we want them to generalise so that they can use this skill in other situations. So if you look at question 3, how do you think people with special diets feel when they can't eat anything at a party? Here we're wanting students to put themselves in the shoes of these other students, and we're trying to lead them gently to thinking about other people's preferences, other people's needs. Students then read a summary of what they've just trained in the reflection point. And this is always just a very quick summing up. And the final phase is the extend phase, where students make, they do a task which transfers the skill to a different context, to a different situation. Here, for example, they're making a music playlist for the party. So again, they're having to think, what do the other students in my class, what do they like in terms of music? and trying to put themselves in somebody else's shoes. So every page has a very clear structure. So we think it's easy to teach with very little preparation, and it should also be fun for your students. So that was a very quick gallop through the life skills page. And what I'd like to do now is just give you a very quick overview of Beyond's digital offering. You've seen the two video strands, the moving picture and the speaking videos. Beyond also has a huge bank of online resources, and there are 2 resource centres. So firstly, there's the Students' Resource Centre. And here students can watch the videos, they can download audio onto smartphones and tablets. If they have the online workbook, they can do tasks there. And basically there's lots of resources that they can use outside the classroom to motivate them to learn outside the classroom. This is your part of the Beyond website, the Online Teachers Resource Centre. Here you can download the interactive whiteboard software with embedded audio-video. The online workbook has an integrated gradebook with automatic marking, so you can follow the progress of your students, of individual students, and also across the class. There are worksheets for CLIL, culture, grammar, vocabulary, all sorts of things, whatever you might need. All sorts of tests, and there's a test generator so that you can generate specific tests for your class. And finally, a nice little extra, there's a link to One Stop English, to the teacher's website, and there are specific materials for Beyond on the One Stop English website that you can use. So there's a whole range of materials, sorry about this, it keeps wobbling. There's a whole range of materials that you can use to adapt the print book to the needs of your students. So it means that you're very flexible. And I'm just going to give you a quick video summary of what we've been